Hello everybody, Scott Merrill for crunchgear.com here. Today I'm going to review the enTourage eDGe dualbook. So I'm going to now turn this thing on by pushing the power button, and while we wait for this to fire up, we'll look at some of the features of the physical unit. As you can see, it has a center hinge. You can open it up, fold it over to use as either an all e-reader or all netbook. It has a speaker in the middle bar along the internal hinge. There are microphones at the top and the bottom of each side of the ebook reader, and these will be used, you can use those to record any number of items that you might want. So it's now booting up. As you can see, the boot up sequence is not particularly speedy, but there you have it. So now we're booted. The left half of the unit is the netbook. The right half is the ebook reader. Well, in this orientation, normally when I'm holding it, the left half is the ebook reader and the right half is the netbook. As you can see, I'm reading Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Great book if you haven't read it yet. So, in most instances, this is a fairly unassuming Android device. You've got a menu item up here, brings up settings, features, typical Android stuff, network controls, the back button here. The home button will show you all of the applications you have installed. I'm sorry, the home button takes you to the home, obviously. This little button down here shows you your applications. There we go. So the primary purpose of this device is clearly to be used as an ebook reader. So let's look at some of those features. From the netbook side, click on the library icon to open up your library of books. You can scroll through a list of books.
Let's take a closer look at the enTourage eDGe, the world's
You can play
first
videos,
dualbook.
obviously.
It has two screens, an e-reader on one side and a tablet netbook on the other.
Great. So, in addition to your standard ebook fare, being able to navigate back and forward through books using the e-ink display, there are a number of interesting features available to the eDGe that are not available, I don't think, on other e-readers at this time. So let's take a look at a couple of these. First and foremost, you can do some pretty interesting stuff with embedded media and embedded images in the e-reader side. I'm looking now for a picture. Let's just go to a different one. Let's open up a different book. Let's open up A Journey into Steinbeck's California. You can see the netbook says it's opening that page. So here's a book that is available to read. It has a nice picture. One thing we can do is this, using the stylus. You can click on this little icon way up here. It's hard to see in my display. And then you can select some portion of the screen on the ebook reader, and it will show that to you on the netbook. And you have controls to zoom in and zoom out. What is this good for? Well, if you had a good image in here, you could, for example, zoom in to get greater detail on a specific portion of an image. Obviously, they've embedded a pretty crappy low-resolution image. It's very scaled and a lot of artifacts. But on an ebook specifically designed for this sort of a device, a higher resolution image may be embedded to allow you to really dig into detail. You can also keep that open while you scroll through the book to look at different e-ink pages. So for example, if there was a diagram or a figure that you needed to refer to in the text, you could open that and continue to look at it while you read the text. So another interesting feature of this is the ability to annotate the books in different ways. So we're going to open up Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. This has a number of annotations in it already. If we select and hold the page, I don't know if I can see it here, a pie menu opens up, and you can select to go to the table of contents. The table of contents will then be displayed on the netbook side of the screen, and you can scroll through here. You can jump to a specific portion of the text, and it will open on the e-reader side. There's also, as you should be able to see, there's a big plus right here. You can click that, and you can see that there are a number of items associated with that. So if we click on any one of these, it will jump us to that page over here. And you can see in the margin a number of little icons. So one of these is a note, one of these is a photograph, and one of these is a picture. We'll start with the picture first. If you click that, it opens up this picture. You can see this picture is not embedded in the e-book. It's simply linked as a hyperlink, allowing for a more rich content type than a traditional book would give you. We can also click on this little note icon, which pulls up a pop-up on the netbook side that says, "Save the trees by going digital, read ebooks instead." You can create these notes yourself as virtual sticky notes, or ostensibly a book may have those in them already. You can also click on the media icon there, and a movie will open. In this case, it's the trailer for Grapes of Wrath. There's a scrub bar, so you can scroll forward and backwards, pause, play, all the features you'd expect. That allows for some pretty interesting types of content, I think, in the long run. The netbook side of the display is, as I said, a fairly run-of-the-mill netbook. Click Home. We've got an email application. You can read all my email. If we click the menu button, there's a button down here that says Compose. There's an on-screen keypad. You can hunt and peck from the keypad here with the stylus. You can use your fingers if you want. You could open it up and use it as an actual keypad if you think you can do that. I find that very hard to do. If you need a little bit more space, you can push the rotate button and the screen will rotate to landscape mode. So that may make it easier to use both hands for typing. I still think it's pretty hard. You can rotate a number of different orientations. There's back to landscape. I'm sorry, back to portrait, the default. So if you're reading an ebook, you might want to have it in this fashion, where you simply read the text on the e-ink display. If you're doing that, you really don't need the back side at all. So you click the home button, click the little main menu icon, and then choose Lock Screen. The screen is now blanked. The e-ink display continues to function properly. You can go forward and backward through the pages as normal without having to worry about pressing something over here. So the e-ink display also offers a number of other interesting features. There is a journal application built into the e-ink display that allows you to write directly on the screen. My terrible penmanship. This is a test. You can, if I find the right button, you can export this to PDF. If you click the Export to PDF button, a dialog box opens up and allows you to enter a name for the PDF that you're saving. So you could use this to scribble notes, draw diagrams, annotate any number of items you might have. We're not going to save that. The other interesting thing, as I mentioned in the e-ink display, is you can actually write right on the e-ink display as well. To do that, I need to open up the display here. Well, look, there's the image I created, I wrote. So I want to go back to my library, and where did it go? Oh, I deleted it. Okay, so I'll make a new note right on here by clicking Note, and we're going to draw in free text. What I can do is literally highlight something, make a note. You know, this is important, whatever it might be. You can see I've scribbled right on the e-ink, and I can save that. I save that. It will ask me to give that a note. Actually, it did not ask me, but there's this here that says no title. That is the one I just created. Again, I can press and hold to bring up that menu. I can edit it. I can give that a title, something important, so I could say important note. IMPOR. As you can see, typing on the touch screen is not particularly easy, so I'll just say important. It's not particularly easy when I'm doing it one-handed on the wrong side. So there's that. You have a regular web browser. Well, it's not connected to my wireless network at the moment, but it has a web browser. And those are the major features of the enTourage eDGe. There's a lot more to it. Those are some of the interesting features that I've found while I've been using this. Is this the end-all be-all e-reader for everybody? No, absolutely not. Chances are strong that something better will come out the next year. But if you're an academic or you spend a lot of time in ebooks or PDFs doing research and you need to take notes, I think this offers you a little bit more convenience and flexibility than your traditional standalone e-reader. The ability to write on the screen, to be able to take the annotations, to be able to embed rich media content into existing documents, as well as having all of the netbook features on the side for checking email or using Wikipedia to look up a reference of something online. I think that's a pretty compelling argument. The device is not heavy, it's under 3 pounds, so it's less than most college textbooks. Battery life is acceptable. I haven't stress tested it, but I've gotten several hours of use out of it. You have USB ports on the side for hooking up peripherals, whether that's going to be an Ethernet dongle if you need it, or simply USB sticks to copy content back and forth. It has SD slots and what's that? SIM card. Eventually they're going to have a 3G model for cellular access. Currently this is Wi-Fi only. Future versions will have Wi-Fi or wireless access through 3G. No ETA on that. I don't know when. So there you have it.